In the past year, trade and tariffs, there were a lot of shocks to the system. It was a big concern. But Bank of America now projects President Trump's strategy is one of de-escalation, not escalation. Does that mean you see this trade war with China cooling off?
Well, I think if you go back to where we were in April, there was a lot of lack of understanding about where this would end up, and that affected small businesses and
they were shocked.
They
were shocked.
The sheer size, the volume, the dollars across the board, et cetera. What you see now as time's moved on, it's sort of a 15% on one side and then a higher number based on people who won't commit to purchase from the U.S. or won't commit to lowering their non-tariff barriers and things like that. And so the question, when I talk to foreign governments and they ask you the question about what's this all mean, or foreign CEOs, you say, look, you got a choice. You can be here or be here. You just have to make the choice. You're going to drive more towards America, and you'll come down to 15%. To go from a 10% across the board to 15% for the broad base of countries, not a huge impact. And that's where our team says it's starting to de-escalate, and that you're starting to see the resolution of the discussions into your 15% here, 17, different numbers. When you put China's a different question because of national security interests, the rare earth minerals, the magnets, batteries, just the AI, all that stuff. It's a very different case. And I think also between Mexico and China, the USMCA, which has to be redone, is also a different case. But broadly in the world, you can see sort of the end point here, and now they've just got to, it's got to work through the system. How
much of a toll has that taken on small businesses? I understand B of A is the largest small business lender.
So we're the largest small business lender, and if we were sitting here in the second quarter of this year, it was a big toll. They were very, because rates have gone up and that costs them more money because they borrow on revolving lines of credit. In other words, they borrow at floating rate. And then the tariffs came in and caused them, I'm not sure I can get the goods at what price and how can I commit. But as you went through the year, rates came down a little bit. So their issue right now is, can I get the labor I need to do to bid the contracts to do the work I'm doing? Because the immigration policies haven't settled in yet, and that's causing people concern. It's not that they agree with them or disagree, they just need to have the answer, and that's what they're looking for. So if you think across 4 policy regimes, tax, trade, tariff, immigration, and then ultimately deregulation, you've seen a resolution of a lot of them, but I think the next one for a small business, what they tell us is labor availability. How they get there is, I need people to do this work, and I need to be dependable. They're here. So give me a set of rules, and I'll go play with them, but I need to be clarified of what the rules are.